Okay, hi everyone, I'm Ronald here from Our Passion Cars. Today we actually have the Mercedes CLA200 AMG Line Premium Plus. I got the name right this time. Okay, anyway, this car is actually sponsored by Swissair Group. They lent me this car so that I can review this car for you to make a better choice. But maybe I can share with you about the CLA first. This is a second generation CLA. The initial one was actually launched in 2013. It actually captured the market, I would say, quite a fair bit, alright? But this second generation, I'm pretty sure is going to do a lot better. I mean, with the swooping lines, okay, just bold creases, it's simply beautiful. If you wish to find out more about my friends at Swissair Group, you may visit their Facebook page at Swissair Group or visit their website at www.swissairgroup.com. Okay, maybe we can start off the front of the car, okay? The front of the car, you can see over here is the multi-beam LED. It actually swivels according when you turn. Of course, if let's say there's an oncoming vehicle, it actually blinds off the spot so that it can actually make driving more pleasant for the other consumers. Okay, and of course, being the AMG line, you actually have these diamond pins that you can see here. Okay, you have the beautiful AMG body kit, but of course, one thing. This one is still fake. Okay, but it's still beautiful. Maybe let's go on to the back. All right. Okay, so the back of this car actually reminded me of one superhero. Okay, I was actually laughing about this. Okay, this portion here, just imagine if it's in gold. Who does it look like? It's from Marvel. Any guess? No? Okay, just share with you. It looks like Iron Man, don't you think? This portion in gold, these are his eyes. Okay, Jarvis lives in his eyes, right? Okay, I actually like this design on the Mercedes CLA only. Okay, I'm not too sure about the other models like the Mercedes CLS, your AMG GT. Somehow it looks a little bit off in proportion. Okay, so I think in this size of car, this design, it looks just right. Okay, but one of my really strongest gripes that I have, it's not here. It's under here. This is, no. Okay, when you step into this car, it's really beautiful. I mean, you look at the finishing of everything. Aesthetically, it looks beautiful. You have soft touch materials on this door panel here and here. I mean, you have soft touch materials even on the dash. And one thing I feel that Mercedes did not really skim so much, because look at all this. These areas here are also all soft touch materials. Okay, so you see, when I call the word, it actually cancel. Okay, so when you say the M word, actually the MBUX system actually kicks up. Okay, so yes, back to the review. Okay, you have soft touch materials here. I'm not too sure whether is this Napa. Okay, but it feels good. Very sturdy feeling. I mean, you have a lot of adjustability in the steering wheel. Okay, but one thing which I really like if this is a CLA, right? So it's based on the A model. The A model is well, in alphabet wise, actually the lowest model, but you actually have very nice displays that you see here. These two, because it's the Premium Plus model, these two are actually 10.25 inch, okay? But the base model is actually 7 inch on this driver instrument display. I won't go for that because actually, look, it's beautiful, right? I mean, look at your center dash. Your center dash portion, one thing which, if you know me, my previous video I mentioned about GLC, right? I'm a little bit OCD. Actually, all this black gloss here portion will actually leave all the fingerprints. I don't really like it, but well, if it's only something that I can have, why not, right? Okay, so maybe we'll touch a little bit more about this center console. Okay, so as per what I did in the GLC, you actually have the MBUX system. When you say the word, it actually activates, as you saw just now. Okay, and it is one of the best systems, I would say. Maybe one of the best. Okay, don't quote me. It could be overtaken by a competitor maybe in the near future, but I'm not too sure now. But of course, all these systems are from the class leading S-Class. Okay, basically people always say whatever tech you want to see in a vehicle in the next 10 years, you will first see in an S-Class. So I'm really looking forward to the new S-Class that's actually coming up. And one thing is, being the Premium Plus model, I have panoramic roof. Look at my hands are actually out of the car. Okay, I actually did this so that you can see me better. Okay, my hands are here. Okay, maybe let's take a look at the back of the car. Okay, I think that will give you a better perspective about how this size of this car is like. Okay, let's check it out. Alright guys, you're now in the back. Okay, so this is my driving position. I'm 1.71 centimeters, 1.71 centimeters. I'm 1.71 meters tall or short. Okay, this is my leg room that I have. I think it's quite decent. My feet room, not so much. But one thing is that when you come into the back, right, the door closes. It's very nice, hard shut. Okay, and also you have soft touch materials here and here. But of course, if you go to Audi or Volkswagen, these are actually all plastics. Okay, so it's really, really nice finishing, and I actually like this quite a lot. No, I mean, you know what's this for? It's for you to disturb your driver. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's very dangerous. But luxury goes to really great extents when I say that, because this hole that you see here, okay, maybe here, you can see there's ambient lighting. My fingers are blue. My fingers here are blue, and here also they're blue. Okay, I think it's nice. It's quite nice, right? I mean, the feel. Of course, the center hump here is actually very big. I mean, for you to squeeze 3 people, I wouldn't advise that. Okay, and the sitting position, I'm not too sure if you can do very long trips with this, because I definitely need to stretch my leg. But I think in Singapore shouldn't be much of a hassle. And the best thing about this is that compared to a two-door coupe, you don't need to shift the seats. I mean, you got extra door for your friends, right? I mean, shifting the seats, I think you guys, if you own a 2-door, you actually know the difficulties. Okay, maybe you can touch a little bit more about this. The center armrest is also leather. You have your cup holders. Okay, good thing for parents. I think this car is catered to maybe young parents or even executives. Okay, you actually have isofix points here, and the seat I'm sitting on. You do not need to push forward your front seat like a coupe. I mean, I actually have friends that are executives like myself, and when they wanted to start a family, they own a 2-door car, they feel a need to sell their car. Okay, which I feel in Singapore is actually very expensive to, when you buy sell your car, unless you really got a very good deal. Maybe get a deal from Swiss Group. Okay, if not, I think this CLA, take it as a 4-door coupe. Okay, it actually serves all the purposes. It's sporty, it's good looking, decently fast, and also decent room space. Shall we take a look at the boot? All right, let's go. Okay, so on the second last part of this review, we are going to talk about the boot. Okay, how to open it. This 3 points down that you see here, just press at the top. Okay, the boot's open. Okay, the opening is decent for a sedan, right? I mean, you have tether points over here. You have additional storage over here. The total storage of this boot is 460 liters. It's 90 liters more than an A-Class hatchback. It is not as accessible as the A-Class, because ultimately you still got to reach further deep in. The seats folding, so you have 40, 20, 40. All you just need to do is that you can pull this lever that's over here, but it's not automatic like the GLC, which I actually reviewed previously. You pull, you gotta push. Okay, so it's decent. Okay, but one thing which I don't really like about this boot, this is the grab handle for you to put the boot down. It makes your hand get stuck. So in the end, you just gotta do it this way. All right, let's head out to the drive, shall we? Alright guys, so now the drive. I mean, engine specs wise is 1.3 litre, turbocharged, producing 161 horsepower, mated to a 7-speed DCT. DCT is actually a dual clutch gearbox. Okay, the dual clutch gearbox, a very similar car that actually has this dual clutch gearbox is from Volkswagen. Okay, but they are not the exact same gearbox, it's just in comparison wise. So those guys, you actually drive the Volkswagen before, the transmission is very smooth. Okay, but the one perk which my friend here actually told me is actually that this dual clutch gearbox allows you to do a half clutch. So when you actually, what does this mean? Is that you set off the line slowly in traffic, it will still move slowly. It doesn't have the shaking feeling or very abrupt shifts. Okay, for the power transmission, 161 horsepower in Singapore, I feel it's sufficient. Okay, but a lot of you guys might be thinking, but not enough power, the turbocharger doesn't work well. Okay, actually it's more about knowing your car. I mean, if you see all the specs that all these manufacturers come out with, okay, your maximum output power at which RPM. Okay, so most of the time when you have very small capacity engines, you can expect that your RPM, the most optimal RPM is going to be lower. So most of the time it's about 2000 to about 4005, okay? So if you realize sometimes when you step very hard on the accelerator, you say, hey, my car is not moving. It's actually because when you step so hard, okay, whatever rev that it goes above the optimum power output doesn't really matter. It's just going to be burning fuel and not getting you anywhere. Okay, so this is just the power. Okay, driving wise, to be very honest, okay, now we are on the expressway. It's very smooth. Okay, the ride is not compromised, even though Mercedes advertised this as a sportier suspension. Ultimately, the platform is the same as your A class, GLB, and your GLA. If I'm not wrong, B class as well. Okay, but the good thing is that it has a slightly wider track. So what does it mean by a wider track? That means your footing is more stable. When you're cornering, is actually a lot better. I mean, now it's raining, I can't do any cornering stuff. Okay, it's very dangerous. Okay, but then again, the drive is quite seamless, to be very honest with you. I would recommend this over, of course, a Japanese car. Okay, a lot of complaints of this car is that they say that it's too noisy, but it's actually manageable. It's quite manageable. I mean, if you want, you can drown yourself out in music. I do not know whether you do that, but generally it's a very pleasant drive. It's a very nice cruiser, sporty cruiser. So you'll be asking me, so who is this car for? Okay, like I mentioned earlier, it's very good for young executives, all right? Where you plan to get married in the future, you want to have kids, and you don't want to. I mean, we all like two doors. I'll put it this way: we all like two doors. I myself, I like a two-door. Okay, but two doors comes with a price. Number one, like I mentioned, if let's say you want to have a child seat behind, it's going to be very, 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 very messy. You got to shift the seats. What happens if you shift the seat? Then you're not back in your comfortable position. That's number one. Number two, your insurance. Okay, the insurance portion is always a very big unknown. Okay, your insurance portion for a two-door coupe is going to be under the sports car class. So just imagine if you buy this car, and then after that you realize the insurance premium is like $5,000. Okay, I mean, young driver, a sports car category, it's going to be like $5,000. Is it worth it? So it's not worth it lah. If you ask me, you can save this $5,000. I mean, you get this CLA. Okay, maybe your insurance premium is going to be about $2,000. It's half the price. It's half the price of whatever you're going to pay. I mean, this does not only apply in Singapore. It actually applies other countries where they have this insurance bracket thing. Okay, so back to the question: if you like a coupe style car, very sporty, decent drive, this is something that you can really get. Okay, this should be one of those in your list. Okay, should you get this car? To me, I would reckon if let's say you're looking for a coupe and you have additional 2 more doors, just go and get it. Okay, it's really a nice drive. Ignore the engine noise. This car will really take you to places. I mean, it is really a head turner. Along the way when I was driving, the kids looking at the car, adults looking at the car. It's really, really beautiful. Okay, just get it. Once again, thank you for watching Our Passion Cars. Ronald signing out.